Hi there, my name is Nicole Diaz, and today I'm going to talk about the importance of connect and have a talking with ourselves. First of all, I want to ask you something. Is the less of self-love and self-esteem one of causes of many issues like depression and anxiety? Nowadays, most of the teenagers are suffering the issues like depression and anxiety. Usually, people used to think that the main cause could be social pressure, discrimination, lack of a stable family, even the social environment where they were raised. But the studies have determined that in the race of achieve personal goals or try to fit on the society, people forgot to talk with them, make an introspective, and cultivate themselves. With this topic, I really want to connect it with depression with depressions and anxiety, and because I think that the less talking with ourselves, the less try to talking with ourselves are causing maybe these issues in some teenagers. So I'm gonna start to talk about depression and why it's connected with this topic. Firstly, we have to keep in mind that having low self esteem is already a psychological problem that affects our mental health. As Adara Monso says, when someone has low self esteem, it will cause you to always keep in mind that you are not capable of do anything. They feel that they don't deserve to be happy, that they don't deserve anything in life, and this is a direct entry into a depressive disorder. People with low self esteem tend to have a poor self knowledge since they only focus their attention in the negative aspects. They don't know what their stress, their desires, and their needs are. They find it difficult to know that limits are and how to put them to other people. This generates negative emotions and a lot of discomforts for themselves. And this is why talking to yourself is a vital for the development of people in a completely full way. On the other hand, we have anxiety. When the assessments that we make of ourselves is negative, we can talk about low self-esteem, and this can cause anxiety. For this reason, it's very important that we take care of why we see ourselves and speak to ourselves. If we are speaking to ourselves in a negative way, or if we are speaking to ourselves in a positive way, if we are only focused in the bad things that maybe we do in our daily life, or if we are just thinking in our goals or in the good things that we made. When we are too self-critical and constantly reproach ourselves for things, eh, we we start to feeling insecure, and that insecure will create doubts about our capacity and ability to do certain things. Here we can already be very close to anxiety. So, uh, as Marta Bermejo says, we all have an internal self-dialogue, and it will depend a lot on the way we talk to each other, how we are going to feel. So, how can we deal with these mental issues? First, mindfulness. It is not necessary to start with 10 or 20 minutes. The key for people who have been meditating for several times and a long days is to start with a daily practice of 5 to 8 minutes. During meditation, you focus your attention and delete negative thoughts that may be filling your mind and causing anxiety. The mindful, I think that is a great way to disconnect ourselves to the society, to the maybe to the social medias, to the problems, and is a space that you are giving to you to let behind the bad things and start to focus in your energy and in cultivate yourself. The other thing that I think that is so important is make a list. And make a list is why I love myself and what are my areas of improvement. Is do an introspective can help us for the develop of our goals and keep focus on our life. I love myself for being so empathic with other people. I love myself because I can do anything that I propose to me. I love myself because I understand my family and I try to give them the best thing that they deserve. And I can improve my life, maybe being more punctual on my job. I can improve my life being more patient with my friends. And it's important to recognize what are the areas that you have to improve, because you are affected the problem, but you are not letting that the problem affect to you. And the last one that I think that is the most important is dedicate quality time. And some people say that when we love our own company, we can be with someone for love and not for necessary. Give yourself spaces for do your I don't know, your preferred hobby, or just to see your favorite movie can improve your self-esteem. And dedicate quality time is so important because maybe in the day we are dedicate quality time to our family, that is right, or to our friends or to our boyfriend, but we used to forget the most important person in our life, that is is you, it's me, is are us. And dedicate quality time to do the things that you love, that is really important. It's really important to develop your self-love, to develop your the imagine that you have about you. And with this, in my opinion, and based in own and friends experience, the training of taking to yourself is a big help, not only around health mind, also can help us to organize our life, achieve goals, and improve our self-love. I remember 1 year ago, I started notice strange behaviors on my best friend. She began to talk so bad about herself, and with an attitude so depressive, so negative, and he began to neglect their aspect, their physical aspect. So I have a meet with her, and she told me that he's just already break up with his boyfriend. So in that moment, she felt so alone, and she noticed that she had developed an emotional attachment to him. In the relationship, she focused all her energy and her time in him. So when he gone, she even didn't recognize her. And I'm not psychologized. In one time of my life, I want to do it, but I start to research how could I help her in that moment. Neither of the two had the money for pay a psychologist. So I found these exercises that I told you in the last slide, and I started to play it too. And it was a great help for her and for me. I didn't break out with my boyfriend in that moment, but I was going through a very stressed moment in my life, like 3 months before my dad just passed away. And in my current jobs, the things got so hard, and that began to cause me anxiety. So from my personal experience, I really recommend to talk with yourself and to take the moment to have mindfulness, to take the moment to take a notebook and start to write what do you love, what is the case that you must love yourself, what is your areas to improve. um I start to dedicate quality time, so I start to train in the gym. I start to listen my favorite music, because in that moment of anxiety, I I just let my hobbies, because I in my mind always keep all the things that was going into my life. And not just anxiety. I feel depression too in some moments. So I think that is important first, and I think that is important to raise your hand and being for help, and maybe apply this recommendation that I'm give you, based in information that I research. And don't forget that no one can love you and value more than yourself. Is that important thing? And this is all. Thanks you very much.